Okay, so here's a thought. What if that whole thing about forcing yourself to believe, I am successful, what if that's actually the thing holding you back right now?
Like, you've done the work right.
Mhm.
You've read all the books, maybe put affirmations up.
Oh, yeah, tape to the mirror, record them on your phone.
Exactly.
Mm.
But then you look around, maybe check your bank statement or just see that pile of stuff you need to do. And,
Yeah.
well, there's that nagging little voice, isn't there?
Oh, yes. Who are you kidding? It's exhausting. It feels like you're fighting yourself all the time.
It absolutely is a fight. And that struggle, trying to hold on to this positive future idea when everything you see right now contradicts it, it's kind of like trying to hold a big beach ball underwater.
Yeah, that's a great analogy. You can do it for a bit, maybe, but the pressure builds, right? And eventually...
It pops right back up.
Yeah.
And each time it does, you feel more discouraged. Maybe even like, I don't know, like you're failing at this whole manifestation thing.
Which feels terrible. So that internal friction, that's what we're really diving into today.
Exactly. We're looking at a totally different way in, something called the no belief method, and this idea of reverse memories.
Okay, so the mission here is what? To stop fighting our brains and work with them instead.
Pretty much. It's about sidestepping that whole belief battle, but giving the brain what it actually understands.
Yeah.
Evidence. New evidence.
Sorry, let's get into it. Where do we start? You mentioned that feeling of internal collapse, hitting a wall.
Yeah, there's this anecdote, right, about someone really going for it with traditional methods for financial freedom, doing everything right.
Okay.
So picture this. Deep in debt, job they hate, affirmations plastered everywhere. I am wealthy. I am abundant, all that.
Standard stuff.
Right. But every single time they looked at those words, their reality just screamed back. The peeling paint on the walls, the bills piling up. It was like the universe was saying, liar.
Oof. Yeah, that creates this internal war zone.
Precisely. And that war, that feeling, it actually has a name in psychology. Cognitive dissonance.
Cognitive dissonance. Okay, break that down. Why does that make forced belief, backfire so often?
Well, it's basically the mental stress you feel when you hold two conflicting ideas at the same time. It's uncomfortable, highly uncomfortable.
Like, I am wealthy versus my bank account is empty.
Exactly. And your brain hates that conflict. Its primary job in that moment is to reduce the stress, to resolve the dissonance.
How does it do that?
It defaults to the belief that has the most concrete evidence. And usually that's your current unwanted reality. You see the bills, you feel the lack, that's strong evidence.
So the affirmation, instead of helping, just makes the conflict worse.
It can, yeah. It often just highlights the gap between where you are and where you want to be, making the dissonance even louder.
Okay, wait. So if the brain always defaults to the evidence-backed reality, how does anyone ever change? Especially if they've got years, maybe decades, of evidence confirming the negative.
That's the million-dollar question, right?
Yeah.
And that's where the shift comes in. The insight is, stop trying to fight the existing belief system head on.
Don't try to change the belief.
No. Instead, give the brain new evidence. But here's the clever part. Frame it as a memory of the future. Evidence that doesn't directly contradict the present moment.
Whoa. Okay, that changes everything. So instead of focusing on belief, we focus on manufacturing memories.
Essentially, yes.
Okay.
We leverage the brain's own mechanisms. And the big one here is neuroplasticity.
Right, the brain's ability to change itself.
Exactly. Your brain isn't fixed.
Yeah.
It's constantly forming new connections, new pathways based on experiences. And here's the crucial bit our sources really emphasize. It doesn't always distinguish strongly between real experiences and vividly imagined ones.
Okay. So the evidence doesn't have to happen out there first. We can kind of preload it.
Precisely. Think about mental rehearsal. This isn't woo-woo, it's science. Research shows that when you vividly imagine doing something, like a musician playing a piece or an athlete making a shot, it activates many of the same neural pathways as actually doing it. You're essentially creating a mental blueprint. Athletes use this constantly.
So if my brain has this library of past memories reinforcing failure or lack, the solution isn't to try and burn the library down, which feels impossible anyway.
Right.
It's to sneak in some new books, new memories of the future, but written as if they already happened.
You got it. That is exactly what a reverse memory is. It's a short, specific, really sensory-rich scene of your goal already achieved. You play it in your mind before it happens.
And because it's framed as a memory you're just recalling.
It bypasses that rejection mechanism. Your brain isn't arguing this isn't true. It's just filing away a new experience. No cognitive dissonance, no fight.
That makes so much sense. And it connects to that idea of acting as if, doesn't it? Which you see in things like cognitive behavioral therapy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's two sides of the same coin. The reverse memory plants the future seed internally, and the acting as if starts aligning your behavior with that new identity.
It's not about pretending or being fake then. It's more like gently guiding yourself.
Exactly. It's about adopting the mindset, the inner posture, the small choices of the person who already has what you want. The brain seeks consistency, remember.
Right. It wants your actions and your self-image to line up.
So if you consistently act and think from that desired state, you create this feedback loop that encourages the neural pathways to actually rewire. You start becoming that person.
Okay, this is fascinating. Let's make it practical. How does someone actually do this no-belief method? It sounds like it avoids all that struggle, which is appealing.
It's designed to be simple. Yeah. Two main parts.
Okay.
Part one is the daily practice, acting as if. This is more about your behavior and your internal state throughout the day.
So focusing on those small choices.
Yeah.
And see inner posture.
Yeah. The core question you keep asking yourself is, how would the person who already has my goal think and act right now in this situation?
So it's not about buying a Ferrari if you want wealth, but maybe how you react to a bill.
Exactly. It's subtle. Would the financially free version of you freak out about the cost of a coffee or just enjoy it? Would they complain about bills or maybe think, okay, how do I handle this? Or even research that dream vacation they're planning?
It's about choosing to operate from security, even if the numbers aren't there yet, practicing the feeling.
You're practicing the state of being. You're choosing security over scarcity, confidence over doubt. In those tiny moments, that's where the identity shift begins.
Okay, that's part one, the daily stuff. What's part two?
Part two is the specific mental exercise, creating reverse memories. And the best time for this is usually right before you fall asleep.
Why then?
Because your brain waves are shifting. You're moving towards that theta state. You're more suggestible, less analytical. Your conscious mind's defenses are down.
Makes sense. So how do you create one?
It's a clear process.
Yeah.
Step one, define a scene. It needs to be short, specific, and this take place after the goal's already done.
Not the process, but the result.
Exactly. Don't imagine acing the job interview. Imagine a friend congratulating you after you got the job. Like, wow, I can't believe you're the new senior manager.
Got it. Then what?
Step two, make it sensory. This is probably the most critical step. What turns a vague thought into something the brain codes as real? Sensory details.
See here? Smell. Feel.
Yes, especially feel. What's the core emotion of having achieved it? Relief, joy, peace, pride. Anchor the scene in that specific feeling. What does your friend's hand feel like on your shoulder? What does the office smell like? Hear their voice clearly.
So not just thinking I got the job, but feeling the weight lift, hearing the specific words, maybe smelling the coffee in the break room.
Precisely. The more sensory anchors, the more real it feels to your brain, the more like an actual memory it becomes.
Okay, and the last step?
Step three, loop it. Keep the scene really short, like maybe 10, 15 seconds, and just replay it gently, over and over again, as you're drifting off to sleep.
Like a little mental movie clip on repeat.
Yeah, until it stops feeling like you're doing an exercise and starts feeling familiar, like you're just remembering something pleasant.
This ties back to that story you mentioned earlier, the person seeking financial freedom. Can we walk through how they applied both parts?
Sure. So the daily acting as if part was subtle but consistent. They consciously stopped participating in those, oh, I'm so broke conversations with friends.
Okay, yeah.
And when a bill arrived, instead of the usual wave of anxiety, they'd physically pick it up, look at it, and just say internally or even quietly out loud, thank you, I have the resources to handle this.
Even if they didn't, technically, at that moment.
Exactly. They were practicing the feeling and the identity of someone who does, operating from security.
And the reverse memory, what was their scene?
It was incredibly specific, which is why it worked so well. It wasn't just being wealthy. The scene was sitting at a desk in a future home office, sunlight streaming through the window, holding a phone.
Okay.
And they were calling their mom, saying these exact words. I did it, Mom. I finally quit my job. I feel so free.
Wow, very specific dialogue.
And the sensory details were locked in. The warmth of the sun on their skin through the window, the smell of coffee brewing nearby, and crucially, that overwhelming physical feeling of relief and freedom washing through their chest. That feeling was the target.
So they looped that scene with those feelings every night.
Every night, drifting off to sleep. And they described how, for weeks, nothing seemed to change on the outside.
Right, that's usually where people give up.
But internally, things were shifting. They felt less desperate, more centered. They started negotiating freelance rates differently, with more confidence. They stopped seeing only problems and started noticing opportunities.
The identity was changing first.
Exactly. And then, about 3 months later, their freelance income had actually grown enough to match their old salary. So they resigned.
Wow.
And here's the kicker, the real aha moment. The day it was official, they sat down at their new desk and they set up a small home office. The sun was streaming in, they made coffee, and they picked up the phone to call their mother.
No way.
And the words just came out. "I did it, Mom. I finally quit my job. I feel so free." And they said in that moment, the feeling, the sounds, the sunlight, it was identical to the scene they'd been rehearsing for months.
Chills. That's not magic then. That's rehearsal.
It's mental rehearsal, creating a blueprint that reality then followed. They'd already lived that moment mentally so many times. It felt completely natural, almost inevitable when it happened physically. No struggle, no forcing belief.
That really reframes the whole thing. The secret isn't about somehow tricking yourself into believing something that feels impossible.
No, it's about giving your brain new building blocks. These reverse memories act like concrete evidence for your subconscious mind to work with. It starts guiding your perceptions, your actions, your identity to align with that memory.
So it comes back to identity, not belief. If your brain just needs evidence of who you're becoming, what's the takeaway for someone listening right now?
Well, think about it. If your imagination can literally activate the same neural pathways as a real event, what's one single, specific, sensory-rich memory you could create tonight?
Yeah.
A memory of your success already being real.
A memory that proves it's already done.
Yeah. What would that feel like? What would you see, hear, smell? Create that short scene.
And the advice is just give it a try.
Just give it a try. Create that new memory tonight before you sleep. File it away like it's already happened, and then just watch. Watch how your world, and more importantly, how you, start to shift to reflect the new identity you're stepping into.